Hi, thank you so much for being here. Welcome and welcome back. Today I want to talk a little bit about what a commonplacing notebook is and my approach to it, how I'm going to be making it fun this 2024. So if you're interested, I hope you stick around. So basically, a commonplacing notebook is a practice that is an old practice, and this is something that you can quickly look up anywhere online, and you will get the history behind this practice and all that. But I'm going to give you just a tiny summary on it because I want to um, uh, get that detail out there and tell you how I'm going to be applying that to my own approach. So first of all, it is an ancient practice that dates back hundreds of years, and basically the original practice, it was for information. It was to collect information in individual notebooks for specific subjects. So for example, there was a collection of information on history in one book. There was another one for math. There was another one for medicine, but they were never combined. Eventually, throughout the years, the practice kind of evolved to just having one compact notebook with different information to refer back to. The idea is that you will have one common place that you can refer back to information that you know that you will kind of reach for constantly. So now my approach to it, it's a little bit different because it involves being more creative with it and not necessarily like more so structured. So I do want to kind of show you how I'm going to be doing that. Now the commonplacing, it's a practice that is very personal. It's something that you should go with whatever works for you. A lot of people say that you should keep it compact, something that is easy to carry around, something that is easy to store, because you want to have access to it constantly. However, again, it's something that is very personal, so you should go with whatever works for you. In my case, I like big notebooks, so I am going for an A5 for my 2024 commonplace notebook. I consider my 2023 commonplace notebook to be my Hobonichi weeks, because in here it's where I have been storing mostly all of the information that I know that I will want to refer back to at some point. However, I think this is a short-term commonplace notebook for me, because again, I only keep it for a year, maybe two, and then after that I don't need it anymore. But in this case, for 2024, I want to have a separate commonplace notebook where I can have information that I want to continuously go back to. So in my case, again, I call it my commonplace bullet journal, because I do want to make it fun and attractive, and it will include not only information that is like resources, but it will include memory keeping, journal entries, book quotes, movie thoughts, things that are exciting to me, things that I want to go back and refer back to at some point. And of course, it will include information that is useful, sort of like resources or passages from books that I want to continue to refer back to and remember the exact page that I read that from, or something like that. So in my case, it will be a combination of both worlds, the more functional and intentional commonplacing, and the fun and kind of creative approach of a bullet journal combined. So I don't have it just set up because I did wanted to kind of talk a little bit more about it first before I showed you all the setup. Maybe I'll do the setup in a different separate video. But basically what I wanted to do, or what I'm trying to do for 2024, is to set up my A5 in a more custom fun way. But first, before I get to start using my 2024 one, I think I want to give it a try in here in my A6, because I want to create the system sort of, or for the setup, and I have an idea on what I want to do, which is pretty much what I have been doing anyways. I divide my page, and I do, in this case, I've been using it for planning, so I do have my to-dos for today, and then I do the entries that I want to have for my day. In this case, I do more memory keeping in these pages, so the entries relate more to like what we did on the day, things that I want to remember if I look back in these pages, like fun things that my son said or things like that. So in this case, it's more memory keeping instead of resources information. But I do want to, for the month of August, I want to include a little bit more resources information in here, sort of like what I did in here at some point. In this case, this day I was going to I have a little bit of everything in here. I had the to-dos for today, and I had a quote that I wanted to remember, and then I did some research on Van Gogh painting, and I found this painting interesting, so I wanted to write a little bit of it. And I don't have a lot of space in this A6, so the entry is very small comparing to the entry that I have on my cousin, but I do want to kind of practice this a little bit more in here before I go in completely on my A5. And that is a thought right now. I'm not sure exactly if I want to do that, but I might do like a testing in here before I move into my A5 completely. However, again, I want to emphasize that you should go with whatever works for you. If an A size at weeks, a traveler's notebook or a pocket notebook works better for you, then you just give it a try. You won't know if it works if you don't give it a try, right? Now, I know for sure that I want to use my A5 because, again, I have been doing this entry pages on my cousin, and I love the spacing. I lost my bookmark there, but anyways, I love my spacing in here. It is perfect for my handwriting, the amount of information that I want to include in here, the stickers that I do, the doodles, and all the things that I want to have on a page when I look back at it. It is the perfect sizing for me and my style. So again, go with whatever works for you. In this case, my cousin, right now I just do fun memory keeping, and I do some planning some days more than others, but mostly it's for memory keeping and just doodling and having fun on my page, adding colors and enjoying the moment. So for my A5, for my 2024 A5, I decided to go with this pouch. It is from the same brand, so I will link it below. It is lovely. It is leather cover. It's more of in a burgundy color than brown, which is what I thought I was getting, but still worked. I love it. It's perfect for the setup that I want. I want to have an access to my markers, so I will be placing those in here. And my pen or a highlighter of the month or something like that. And then it also has pockets and stuff. I did a review on the unboxing from my unboxing series for 2024, and I will link that below in case you want to go into all the things that I got with this order. But basically I chose this zipper pouch for my A5 because it has a place for everything, and I love that it has a zipper because, again, once I start using my notebook for my commonplacing, I'm sure that it will become bulky, and I don't want anything to fall off my pages, and I wanted to kind of keep it compact in one place. This notebook has 400 pages, so I'm pretty sure that it will get very bulky once I start using it. So that's the idea there. Now, I did get for some structure, I got me these color dots, and the idea is that I would color code my information with the dots, and then it should be much easier to refer back to it instead of trying to flip through a lot of pages of information and not having to kind of read through the information to find what I'm looking for. I wanted to pop in here real quick and tell you that I added a printable with a guided step-by-step prompts and ideas on how to set up your Commonplace notebook in my Patreon. It is one of the printables that I will be adding every single month for members only. So if you're interested, I'm going to be linking that below, and back to the video. I know that in one of these pages I did an entry with information that I wanted to refer back, but honestly right now if I want to go back to find it, it's going to take me a little bit because I have to actually flip through each page and go through scan the page and try to find information to see if I can refer back to it quickly. However, if I do incorporate the traditional common placing approach, which is just indexing your information, sort of like dividing your page and having an area where you index the information entry that you did. In my case, I think I'm going to do the indexing towards the right. That way when I go like this in my notebook, I can see it quicker. I guess that's my thought on that sense. And that's something that it's not the classic approach. The classic approach is usually to divide the page towards the inside of the page. You will add your title of the information and then the entry, and then you will divide the next section and you go like that. And then some people use color coding like this, and that's what my approach for 2024. I will be color coding my details and information for easy refer back to, especially if it is something that I know for sure that I want to look back at. I want to be able to find it quicker. So not all my entries will have colors, only the information that I do know for sure that will be something that I will refer back to. Again, the information that you store in your commonplace notebook, it can be anything that is important to you. A lot of people say that you should only keep important information such as resources and details that you know for sure that for years you will refer back to. But I say that you should go with whatever works for you. In my case, I like to have a hybrid of both worlds. What is information that I want to keep and refer back to, and what is information that I just like to look back at. Now, these pages are again memory keeping in my cousin, and I love flipping through these pages and remembering what I did on a specific day, what I was thinking, how I was feeling. And that's something that I also want to include into my commonplace notebook, because it's just my style. To me, I call it it's gonna be my commonplacing bullet journal hybrid, and that's my approach. I'll definitely recommend that you try it. And if you're into, doodlings and making it more fun and not necessarily more structured or specific for certain information, so if that's an approach that that aligns with your style, I'll definitely recommend it. One thing too that I want to keep in mind is the spacing. That's something that in here, obviously this is not necessarily my commonplacing right now, because it's only memory, but I do like the layout and I like the spacing, right? So I want to ensure that I have about the same approach when I start setting up my commonplace notebook. And the idea is that I will have a few pages in the front for my indexing, for my keys, and maybe intentions for this notebook, making sure that I have a reminder of keeping it fun and functional. But again, keep in mind the information that I want to have in here. I will definitely have 1 or 2 pages for indexing, and I think that I will divide them halfway, because I think I can fit a whole line of indexing in one side than the other one. So basically I will have 4 rows of indexed information in the front of the notebook. And it's okay if I run out of space and I still want to index more. I can, since this is my bullet journal approach, I can just go to the next available page and start a new index section. That's fine. If that's something that works for you. If you think that you will need more than 4 sections or more than 2 pages, then I recommend that you leave a few pages in the front just so you can have that extra space in case you need to. Color coding, again, that's something that is going to be very, very helpful when you're flipping through pages, and especially if it is a notebook as big as this one with 400 pages. Once you start adding information, it might become a little bit overwhelming to go through all of these pages to find what you're looking for. So if it is something that you consider you will definitely refer back to often, I would definitely recommend adding some sort of color coding or some key coding that you can that can help you to find that information easily. And finally, just again, I recommend just having an idea on how your style, what your style approach is, whether that is doodling most of the time, or writing bigger, or writing smaller, or writing towards the right of the page or to the left of the page. Just kind of having an idea, because structure, it's going to be your best friend when it comes to a large commonplace notebook. I do recommend that if you start writing towards the right of the page and you use the left side of it to index your information, that you continue the same style throughout the notebook. I mean, if you have to change it eventually, then obviously that's something that's up to you. But I will prefer, in case, just as an example, since I don't have my commonplace notebook set up yet, but as an example, this is the approach that I will take. I will have my index towards the left of the page with the title of the whatever entry it is that I'm referring to, a little bit snippet or summary of what it is, and then the entry. And then I will divide the next section and do the same thing for the next section, but I will always have the indexing towards the right of the page, because towards the towards the outside of the page. So in the left page, I will have it towards the left, and on the right page, I will have it towards the right. That way, when I'm flipping through my notebook like this, I can see it faster and find the information that I'm looking for in a faster way. That is my approach again, and I think that I would definitely strive to keep it that way for the entire life of my notebook, because again, I want to go like this through the entire notebook and be able to find what I'm looking for. So if you're interested in seeing how I'm setting it up in my first few pages, how I enter the information and all that, stay tuned, because that is the next video coming up on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed, I do invite you to do that and hit the bell so you can be notified when that video is up. I think I will list it as a premiere, because again, this is a very exciting setup for me, and I definitely want to share that with you. I know I said at the beginning of the video that I was going to try on this one, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and start here. Since this is not a dated notebook, I can start it whenever. So I think I'm going to do that one for the month of August and get started with it ahead of time. So if you're up for it, I hope you come back to see that setup. And until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.